Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Seek Show. This is what I created in my last video, a simple risk analysis map on dengue fever. Today we are going to do an advanced risk analysis map on the dengue fever. Hope you have watched my last video. If you haven't watched my last video, please check the description section below. I have provided the link. Hope you will subscribe my channel, share this video and like this video, and click the bell button to get the latest notification on my videos. Right, let's move to the today's lesson. Right, hope you familiar with my data files, shape files. If you have watched my last video, so here I'm going to do a advanced risk analysis. So first I'm going to use multiple ring buffer tool to create multiple buffers for my breeding locations. Breeding location shape file includes all the breeding locations, coordinates. So here I'm going to create 3 buffer zones for this breeding location shape file. You can select the output here. I'm going to save it in my dengue database. Here I will choose 3 different buffer zones: 200 meter, 300 meter and 500 meter. Hope you can understand what I'm doing here. Suppose if you have a breeding location, I'm going to create 3 buffer zones for this breeding location and click OK. You will get the buffer zones for breeding locations, 3 buffer zones for each file. Here the buffer zones with breeding locations. Again I'm going to do the same thing for my patient's locations. Suppose if you have a patient, you know the coordinates of the patient or the location of the patient. So I'm going to create 3 buffer zones for this patient location. I will select the same ranges: 200 meter, 300 meter and 500 meter. Click OK and you will get the output like this. Right, I have created the multiple buffers for my breeding locations and the patient's locations. These are the files. Right, now I have created 2 buffer zones for my breeding locations and patient's locations. So now I'm going to select special land uses which have high impact for dengue fever spreading. Those land uses are slums and shanties and water area. So I use select by attribute feature to select those 2 areas out of this database: slums and shanties and water areas. I consider those areas have higher impact for dengue fever spreading. That's why I'm going to extract those areas as a separate shapefile. Right, this is the extracted slums and shanties and water area as a separate shapefile. This is patient's locations with buffers, and this is breeding locations with buffers. Here I am creating a new field named risk level, I'm going to give values, risk values for each buffers. Here I am giving the higher risk values for lower buffers. If you are closer and closer to the water area, you have a higher risk on dengue fever. So that's why I am giving higher risk values for 200 buffer, the lowest buffer, the lowest range. So you can choose different values according to your requirement. Here I'm selecting 631 risk values for 200 buffer, 300 buffer and 500 buffer respectively. Right, likewise I'm going to do the same thing for patients locations. I will give risk values for the buffers in the patient's locations. Again I am telling you can choose different risk values according to your requirement. Here I am choosing 631, or you can choose 10 or even 543 or 321 likewise. What is important is you have to give the higher value for the lower buffer which has the higher risk. So that is why you have to give higher value, higher risk values for lower buffers. That is the important thing. Now here I am going to create another buffer for extracted land use risk shapefile. Again I am going to create 200, 300 and 500 meter buffers for the selected land areas, that means land risk shapefile, which included slums and shanties and goat area. So those have higher risk for dengue fever. Only you have to use the multiple ring buffer tool. Right, I have created another buffer zone, 3 buffer zones. I am going to add the risk values to the third buffer zone, third one. It is also necessary to give risk values. Here I am giving number 5 risk value for 200 buffer zone and number 3 for 300 meter and number 1 for 500 meter buffer zone. Somewhat different. You can choose the same risk values as 631. Now you have 3 buffer zones and land users. Here I am going to give risk values or risk weight for each and every land users. That means slums and shanties, vote area, lands with under construction or community organizations, residentials and stores and warehouses. You can give different risk values for each and every land users, but based on their risk level. If there is a vote area which you have given the higher risk value. Likewise, I'm going to give risk values for each and every land users using this field calculator tool. What I want to inform you that you can use this method to do a risk analysis of any field. Here we are going to do an advanced risk analysis on dengue fever. Right, now each and every land users were given risk values. Likewise, you can choose different values based on their risk. I mean the risk of the land, you have to choose different values. If the land has higher risk for the dengue fever, you have to give higher risk values or risk weight for that land use. Then I am going to use a union tool to do the union for all the buffer files, buffer shape files that I have created. I choose here breeding buffer zones, patient's locations buffer zones, and land use risk buffer zones, and ultimately the all the land users for shape files. Right, you can choose output location here. I'm going to untick this here. This is optional, and then click OK. Right, now I have done the union for all the shape files. Now we can see the output. Now you have to summation. Now we have to get the summation of all the risk values in this union shapefile. So to do that, you have to add a new field here called total risk value and use the field calculator to get the summation of all the risk values which were given to the each and every shapefile. That means the patient locations and breeding locations and land users. So likewise, you can get the summation using the key equation. This will give the summation of the risk values, each and every risk values, as you can see here, from 0 to 22 values here. Now what you have to do is go to the properties of this union file, and go to symbology, then go to categories, and here you can set the value first as total risk value, and here click OK. You can choose a different color ranges here. Here I am considering the total risk value. If the total risk value is between 1 to 5, this is very low risk. Likewise, I assume these risk conditions are based on these values, or you can choose different values according to your requirement or according to your application. Now just simply click apply and then OK, and you have to process some modifications. Here I'm removing the outline colors, this is the processing part. Now you can see the advanced risk analysis map on dengue fever. Red color shows the higher risk locations, means a very high risk, and dark green color shows the very low risk. Now I am going to use the clipping tool here. I will clip this union shapefile with the land use shapefile. Hope you know how to use the clipping tool here. You can choose the input feature and set the output location and clipping features, and then click OK. You will get the clipped output. Now you have clipped the risk analysis map. Now you have get the whole map without buffers. Then you should do the same thing here. Go to total risk value, set the quantities, and if you want, you can change some values here in the classification. You can do a manually classify. You can set different values here. Click OK, and you can label the colors. If the total risk value ranges between 1 and 4, you set it as a very low risk, and if the total risk value is between 14 and 22, you can set it as very high risk condition. So then you can click apply and OK. You will get the final map. And also you have to remove the outline colors. this is the advanced risk analysis map on dengue fever. You can do some changes. You can turn this into a professional map. You can add scale bar, scale text, and title, and the north arrow. Okay, right now I have done the processing part and the analyzing part. I have done the risk analysis. Here I am doing the final processing of the map. Hope you know how to process the final map, how to arrange the professional map here. If you don't know, please check my channel. There are a lot of tutorials I have started recently. If you like this video, please do remember to subscribe my channel, share this video, like this video, and click the bell button to get the latest notification about my videos. Right, so you are going to see the final output of the map here. Today we have done advanced risk analysis on dengue fever using ArcGIS software, ArcMap 10.1 version. The official distributor of this software is Esri ArcGIS. Here I am using the 10.1 version ArcMap software. Okay, so this is the final output of the map. You can export this map as a PDF file or as a JPEG file or any other format. So this is the final output. I have added all the map details, legend, scale bar, scale text, title, and the north arrow here. You can see the exported map as a JPEG file here. In this manner, you can create different risk analysis maps based on your requirement and each and every field that you want. Right, okay. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like my video, please do remember to subscribe my channel, stick with my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back with a new lesson soon. Till then, take care and goodbye.